Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And recently, very recently, I've seen a lot of people, including Mike Dano in this article, which I will leave in the description down below. I've seen, I would say, actually a few people that are of credibility, I would say. As Mike Dano's title says, is T-Mobile losing its edge? I've seen that. I've seen some say, is T-Mobile losing their mojo? I've seen some say, is the Un-carrier dead? And I wanted to give you guys my take on it and give more context to it and elaborate a bit more. So nobody's perfect. No company is perfect. I get that. I got it good. They've had their recent, I would say, their knockdown. And as many of you would say, it's not about being knocked down. It's how you get back up. And with this data breach that happened, T-Mobile got knocked down. They got punched in the face. And now it's for them to correct it and to see how they bounce back. And this wasn't even mentioned in this article, by the way. I don't think. I didn't read all of it. But it was mainly talking about how John took the Un-carrier to what we know, and then how Mike Sievert steps in, and now T-Mobile is losing its edge. I just wanted to add a couple of points in there. The Un-carrier was a branding to what T-Mobile was doing at the time. They were moving in a different direction from its competitors. That was one. John being the face behind that branding. There's nobody that can replace him. I don't care what Mike Sievert does on that stage. I don't care if he does backflips, jumping jacks. He will not be John. And I think they lost sight of that. Now, most of the Un-carrier initiatives are still in the company. So no, I don't think the Un-carrier is dead. They're still doing Netflix on Us. Taxes and fees are still included. They still give you promotional line discounts, which AT&T and Verizon don't do. Insider discounts, 20% off. Third line for free. Line 4, 5, 50% off. Nobody's doing that right now. AT&T and Verizon are not doing that right now. What AT&T and Verizon are doing is they've caught up. They're more competitive now than they were back when John got started with the Un-carrier. T-Mobile was by far more aggressive, way more aggressive back then. They were doing the complete opposite, and now Verizon and AT&T are making market corrections because they know T-Mobile is more competitive now. They're a stronger company. So now Verizon has distribution deals with media. You get Disney Plus bundles, you get AMC, Discovery Plus, Apple Music. That's more competitive, even though the pricing is still higher, but now there's value that either matches or exceeds T-Mobile's, depending on your subjective opinion. AT&T, HBO Max, they got lower pricing closer to T-Mobile's. They have a bigger, better network. They are more aggressive on these promotional deals now. So again, they've caught up. So it's going to be really hard for T-Mobile to steer in a different direction, because now the only way to match this is to either match it or exceed it. So if AT&T is doing 1,000 off on the iPhone, then T-Mobile would have to do 1,200 off on the iPhone. So that's why I mentioned in one of my videos recently that T-Mobile is more balanced. They are far more balanced in their approach. And that's something that nobody's really touching on. It's like, okay, we're going to give you $700 or $800 off on the phone, but we will also give you line 3 for free, line 4 and 5, 50% off. We're going to do a 20% insider hookup. Those are stackable discounts in some cases. Not all, but in some they are. AT&T and Verizon are not doing that. I can't stress that enough. They're not giving you discounts on the lines. Yes, they have the multi-line discounts, but beyond that, they're not giving you an extra 20% off of line 3 or free for that matter. They're not doing that. T-Mobile is doing that. T-Mobile is offering you $800 to switch, to pay off your device with the other carrier. Verizon is doing it at $500. AT&T is not even touching that. Yes, they give you $1,000 off of the iPhone, but if you come from another carrier, you're going to have to take care of the phone on your own. So T-Mobile, I feel, is taking a more balanced approach. So iPhone promotions, yeah, AT&T is giving you $200 more, but I find that the deal with T-Mobile gives you a more balanced approach towards, getting out of the carrier that you're with into a newer device that's discounted and helping you pay off the device with your existing carrier. Now, a mid-band 5G lead, but for how long? I mean, we can discuss that topic specifically in another video, because as many of you will agree, Verizon and AT&T are going to fight tooth and nail to close that gap. They will spend more cash flow. They will take money out of their cash flows, their profits, to fund this build. And if there's the slightest chance of an acceleration within any given annual CapEx year, they will do it. If the CTO comes and says, hey, Hans, hey, John Stenke, I think we can do an additional 50 million pops this year if we spend X amount of money. And they will do it. Verizon already stated they're going to spend 10 extra billion over 3 years. So in any given year of those 3 years, that fund could be more. They have been giving the green light to spend as much as they can per the annual base. So say this year they can do 4 billion. They're going to spend 4 billion if they can deploy at that rate. So again, that's very subjective. That depends on your area. If AT&T is not strong in market share in your area, you're not going to see that aggressive of an approach in your market. But if Verizon or T-Mobile have 50+% share in your market and you have a high population, you're part of the top markets, then yes, you're going to see an acceleration in the network build mid-band in your market. So this is very subjective, I think, but we can make an educated guess by history that Verizon is just going to take it eventually. They'll catch up. Eventually, they will catch up. They have a larger network now. They can technically deploy on a much larger scale because the network is bigger. Yes, T-Mobile will catch up, but they'll have to catch up to that LTE layer that Verizon has already built for years and maintained. So T-Mobile will have to deploy those 10,000 sites, maybe even more, because Verizon and AT&T are still expanding. They are still adding in sites. Verizon said they're going to build 2,000 to 3,000 macros additionally on an annual basis. Some, they'll fill in the densification necessary for C-band to have a continuous coverage. Some will be brand new dead zones that will be filled in. If you've seen one of my videos in upstate New York, Verizon turned on some sites, 2 of them that were complete dead zones for Verizon in that area. And the other carriers, I'm being told, are still dead in that area. So this is a very subjective topic. And then the financials, a financial slowdown, everything that's happening now other than the data breach and any other issues that T-Mobile may run into has been projected and guided. T-Mobile knew that they would have the highest churn. They told you so in some of these conferences. They knew they had to work through this for the first 3 years, and then they have to see, okay, how many can we migrate? Actually migrate, not the TNX SIM, not the network. Can we migrate this customer full? We need to move them from Sprint billing to T-Mobile billing. And then they knew that there would be a large crowd that would be ticked off. They wouldn't like it. They would leave. So T-Mobile had all that in the run rate. So yes, the financials may be a little off. There may be a slowdown, but they are aggressively picking back up. As I mentioned, the switching cost to help you switch went up from $650 to now $800. Of course, that likely requires a trade-in of some sort, a qualification, but still they're helping you if you want to switch. Third line is free. So they're looking to accelerate. They're looking to grow. Does that likely mean that the numbers are a bit slower? Maybe, but they're aggressive. They're marketing far more than any other carrier right now. They're pushing their 5G lead that they claim. They're pushing that all over. I'm seeing it even when I watch Hulu and I pause the video, you can see T-Mobile on the screen while the video's paused as an advertisement. So again, it's a wait and see approach. We'll see how T-Mobile gets back up. They've been knocked down. We'll see how they get back up, and we'll see how they move forward if the numbers get any worse than they already are. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. If you have been on the channel or you are new to the channel and you have not yet liked, share, subscribed, to make sure you do so. Hit that notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Make sure to follow my social media outlets for more updates and interactions. Thanks again for watching. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.